I should have never turned that radio on. I only bought it because it looked cool. Old, scratched metal, Cold War style, something vintage to sit on my shelf. I didn't expect it to work. I definitely didn't expect it to wake up. The room was dark except for the faint glow of the tuning dial. I turned it slowly, letting the static drift through the speakers like cold air leaking into the room. Then I heard it. A woman's voice. Flat, robotic. 4712, a numbers station, a real one. I leaned closer. 9358. Then the voice paused. Too long, too deliberate, and said my name. I froze. Names aren't part of number stations. Ever. It broke the pattern in a way that felt wrong in my bones. I waited, barely breathing. Latitude 28.62. A beat. Longitude 77.10. I pulled out my phone with shaking hands. The coordinates were my exact location. My building, my floor, my room. The air felt heavier, colder. I reached for the power switch, but before I touched it, the voice changed, warped, distorted, like something was forcing its way through the speaker. Do not turn away. Transmission intended for you. That was enough. I yanked the plug from the wall so hard it sparked. The radio didn't turn off. The voice deepened, metallic and cracked, repeating my name again and again, each time more fractured than the last. I stumbled toward the door. I needed to get out, just get outside. The door wouldn't open. The lock clicked normally, but the door itself felt held, pressed shut, like something enormous was on the other side, leaning into it. Then came a piercing, vibrating tone. I couldn't tell if I heard it or felt it. The lights flickered, the windows buzzed. I searched the coordinates again. That's when I found the old reports. The location belonged to a Cold War listening post, a classified one, rumored to monitor transmissions that didn't come from human sources. My heart hammered, and then the radio whispered, "Answer." I covered my ears. It didn't help. The voice tunneled into my skull like a cold needle. "Answer." Every light in the apartment snapped off, except the single red diode on the unplugged radio, glowing like an eye, pulsing steadily. And then I heard footsteps inside my apartment. They weren't human footsteps. Too heavy, too measured. Each step pressed into the floorboards like something huge and barefoot was walking toward me. I couldn't move, couldn't turn around. The radio clicked sharply. "You are receiver, not sender." The footsteps stopped, right behind me. The air on my neck turned icy, damp, close, like something was leaning over my shoulder, breathing slowly. Then the final message. "Transmission acknowledged." The lights came back on. The apartment was empty, but I wasn't there. Something stood in my place, something wearing my body, something that stepped out of that transmission and into this world. And the radio? It's still on my floor. The red diode blinks in a new pattern. New coordinates, looking for someone else to answer. I clean hotel rooms for a living. It's not exciting, but it pays the bills and keeps me moving from floor to floor, room to room, day after day, until room 239 changed everything. It started like any checkout. Luggage gone, key left at the desk. The guest was already cleared, though the front office said something strange. "No digital record," they murmured. "We can't find the booking." I laughed. Hotels mess up all the time. I wish that had been the real explanation. The room smelled different the moment I opened the door. Sterile, sharp, like hospital disinfectant mixed with old metal. The curtains were drawn tight, blocking out the afternoon sun. I stepped inside and froze. There was a black duffel bag in the center of the bed. Guests almost never forget bags. And when they do, they come back fast. But something about this one felt wrong. Too heavy looking. Too deliberate. I shouldn't have unzipped it. I should have reported it. Instead, curiosity dug its claws in. Inside the bag, a stack of old Polaroids, a notebook written entirely in cipher, a sealed biological container with no labels, and worst of all, a Polaroid of me. Me, standing in that same room, wearing the same uniform, same hair, same everything. I turned the picture over. A timestamp was written on the back. The exact time I opened the bag, to the minute. My hands shook so badly the photo nearly slipped. This wasn't a prank. There was no one else on the floor at that moment, no cameras inside the room, and certainly no way for someone to print a picture of me that quickly. I backed away from the bed. I needed to leave, find security, find someone. That's when the bathroom light flicked on by itself. I stood perfectly still as the vent inside began to hum. Something moved behind the shower curtain, a slow, dragging motion, like wet fabric sliding over tile. I reached for the doorknob. It didn't move. It felt jammed or held, or the shower curtain slid open, empty. But the mirror wasn't empty. A figure stood behind me in the reflection, tall, thin, wearing a lab coat streaked with dark stains, their face blurred, like someone took an eraser to their features. I spun around. No one there. The vent hummed louder, a low mechanical sound layered beneath it, like the whirring of lab equipment warming up after years of disuse. I grabbed the duffel bag to throw it out of the room, but the biological container inside began to shake. Something inside it hit the plastic from the inside. Once, twice, harder each time. I dropped the bag and bolted for the door. This time it opened easily. Too easily, as if whoever or whatever was holding it let go. I sprinted into the hallway, heart pounding, lungs burning. I didn't stop until I reached the security room. We reviewed the hallway footage. The guest who stayed in room 239 walked down the corridor at 2:14 a.m. the night before, a blur on camera. No facial definition, no gait pattern, no shadow. Frame by frame, the figure moved wrong, joints bending too loosely, head drifting from side to side, like it was listening to something behind the walls. And then, as it passed room 239, the camera glitched. A full second of lost footage. When it came back, the door was already closed. The security guard tried calling the number left at check-in. It didn't exist. The next morning, the black duffel bag was gone from the room. I didn't remove it. No one on staff did. I haven't entered room 239 since. But sometimes, when I walk past it, I hear the vent humming on the other side of the door. And once, only once, I heard something tapping from inside. Exactly like the thing inside that container. There's something wrong with my mirror, not metaphorically. I mean, the reflection inside it stopped copying me. Completely. It began 3 nights ago. I had just come home from a late shift, exhausted, barely able to keep my eyes open. I went into the bathroom, flipped on the light, and splashed water on my face. When I looked up, the reflection blinked a second too late. I froze. My own eyes stared back at me, but they felt off, detached, like someone pretending to be me. I leaned forward. My reflection stayed still. A thick, crawling fear went down my spine. I waved my hand slowly. My reflection hesitated, then snapped into sync like it suddenly remembered it was supposed to mimic me. I stepped away immediately and left the bathroom light on all night. The next day, I convinced myself it was exhaustion, nothing more. When I came home, I walked past the bathroom deliberately, refusing to look inside. But something caught my eye. Movement, not mine. The mirror shook, just once. A tiny vibration, like something inside had knocked. I swallowed hard. Against every instinct, screaming not to, I walked in. My reflection wasn't there. Not late, not lagging, just gone. The mirror showed the bathroom behind me, the walls, the shower curtain, but it did not show me. Then something stepped forward into the frame. It was me. The other me. walking into view from the right side of the mirror, from a place that didn't exist. He looked exhausted, pale, angry. His eyes were glassy, unfocused, like a sleepwalker. He leaned right up against the inside of the mirror and smiled. I stumbled backwards so hard I hit the wall. The mirror version tilted its head, studying me like I was the strange one, not him. Then his hand pressed against the other side of the glass. The mirror rippled. Glass is not supposed to ripple. I bolted out of the room, slammed the door, and shoved a chair under the handle. I didn't sleep at all. Every sound felt amplified, every shadow stretched. Around 3 a.m., I heard footsteps inside the bathroom. Soft, slow, patient. The mirror rattled again. Then the door handle turned even though I had blocked it. It kept twisting, pushing, quietly insisting. I stayed awake until the sun finally rose. The next morning I found muddy footprints leading out of the bathroom and down the hallway. Not mine. I checked the mirror again, cautiously. My reflection was back this time, doing exactly what I did. Perfectly in sync. Too perfectly. I forced myself to reach out and touch the glass. Cold, solid, normal. Then the reflection whispered. My lips did not move. "You're late." I jumped backward. The reflection tilted its head, annoyed, irritated. His expression wasn't mine. I couldn't even pretend anymore. That thing wasn't copying me. It was studying me. I reached for my phone to record it, but the moment I hit the camera button, the reflection synced again like nothing had happened. Every recording came out glitched and black. Last night was the worst. I woke up to breathing right beside my bed. Slow, heavy. Too close. I didn't open my eyes. Couldn't. When I finally looked, the mirror version was standing at the foot of the bed. No glass, no frame, just him, just me. He watched me with a hollow expression, then whispered, "Switch." And the room went dark. I woke up this morning feeling wrong, like my skin is slightly too tight, like my reflection fits me better than I do. I checked the mirror again. This time it copies me perfectly, too perfectly. And yet, when I leaned closer, the reflection blinked early, like it's the real one now, waiting, learning, replacing.